Hello to all my friends and other members of GRI around the world. Hope you're doing well during these very strange times in which we're now living. I can't believe it's August already. This pandemic is horrific. The human suffering and economic destruction is like nothing we've seen before in our lifetimes. Yet there are some positive outcomes to not traveling and to working from home. Perhaps you've gotten into better shape through diet or exercise. Hopefully you're developing a deeper connection with your kids and partner. Maybe learn yoga or a new language, even develop a meaningful meditation practice. And some of us have even had awakenings. I had one, an awakening regarding race. And I remember the exact moment. It was the second night of the protest in New York City, and there was associated looting being shown on the news. And I was immediately very angry at the looters. And then I paused and thought for a moment, what might I be capable of if I felt repression? If my kids suffered from injustice? If I'm honest with myself, I'm capable of much worse than stealing a pair of Nike shoes. This was my awakening. A friend suggested I read Ruth King's book, Mindful of Race. And to be honest, much of it was tough to accept. But it was very meaningful to me, and it's forever changed my perspective regarding race. Ruth advises and coaches in many important companies on racial diversity, and we are really fortunate to be able to get her time to speak to GRI on Wednesday, September 2nd. I believed that I've always been colorblind in a good way, seeing people not their skin color. Perhaps this is because I grew up in a small town in Indiana, mostly white, where my best friend in elementary school lived in the house behind me. He was black, but I didn't care. He was simply my best friend. And during those days, I also made money by babysitting the two younger boys of the Chinese family that lived next door. They were not Asian in my eyes. They were just cute kids who always beat me at checkers. And I thought about my hometown after watching the looting. And while I could not conceive why anyone would discriminate, it dawned on me for the very first time in my life that these two families were the only minorities in the entire neighborhood. I asked myself, had I lived on another street, might I be a different person? One of the hard truths of reading Ruth's book was learning that I was partially colorblind, but in a bad way. I could not see my own whiteness. Me and most white men view our personal success as individual achievement. And coming from a small town in Indiana and ending up on Wall Street, I never felt I had any advantages. But I did. Look at our industry. It's dominated by white men. And the hard truth is that it's just natural human nature to be drawn to others who are similar to ourselves. This is white privilege. Our industry could benefit from better racial diversity, not just in the US, but also in Europe and in Brazil. But I don't have the answers. However, I do know we need to discuss this. And I invite you to do this with Ruth King and me on Wednesday, September 2nd.